So next topic would be average deviation for group data. Okay, so for the average deviation, we will be using only the midpoint method. Okay, so we have the formula that would be the summation of our frequency and then the absolute value of midpoint less the mean divided by the total number of our frequency. Okay, so again, using the classes that we used to, I used to give you as an example, we have now the frequency and then the midpoint. How do we get again the midpoint? That would be the upper limit plus the lower limit divided by 2. Okay, so 22 plus 11 divided by 2 in order for you to have now the midpoint. Now, using the midpoint method for our average deviation, we have to get first the midpoint, of course, and then the next step would be let's get the mean. Okay, so in getting now the mean, we have to get the frequency times the midpoint. Okay, so we have frequency multiplied by our midpoint. So that would be 3 times 16.5, that would be 49.5. Okay, so I'll just write this one, 445.5. Kindly check if there would be some mistakes in my computation. Okay, so we have 4.5, sorry, that would be 0. 0, and then we have 177.0. Okay, so next step, we are just getting the mean. So we have the summation of our frequency times the midpoint, that would be equal to 3174 for the summation. Okay, so we can already get now the mean. That would be 3174 divided by total numbers, so that would be 60. So your mean would now be equal to 52.90. Okay, so that would be our mean. Now next, in getting now the average deviation, we have to construct the deviation. So we have midpoint less our mean. Same as true with the ungrouped data a while ago. So let's get now the midpoint, that would be 16.5 less our mean. Okay, so I will not write it anymore, but the computation for that would be 16.5 less 52.90. Okay, so we have now 36.4, negative 36.4. I will just write this one. 12.4, and then negative 0.4. We have 11.6, 23.6, and then we have 35.6. Okay? How do I get the 36.4? That would be 16.5 less 52.90. Okay. Same as true. Let's get now the absolute value of our midpoint less the mean. So we have 36.4. Just copy and remove all the negative values. Okay, so that would be 35.6. And then we are now ready to get now the, not yet. We will not yet get the solution of this one. Okay, so since we already get the absolute value of our midpoint less the mean, we will have to multiply it now with our frequency times the absolute value of the midpoint less the mean. That would be frequency and then the absolute value. Okay, so frequency times the absolute value of our frequency less the mean. So we have 0.2, we have 0.0, 136.4, 7.6. We have 162.4. We have 141.6. And then we have 71.2. Okay, so that would be, then now we can get now the summation. Your summation of frequency times the absolute value of the midpoint less the mean. So we'll be having 750.4 for the absolute value. Okay? We are now ready to get the average deviation. So again, average deviation would be the summation of your frequency times the absolute value of the midpoint less the mean divided by your n. Okay? Or the sample size. So that would be 750.4 divided by 60. So the average deviation is equal to 12.51 as the average deviation. Okay? So only for the midpoint method. There would be no method for either, there will be no computation for the average deviation using the unit deviation. But on the next videos that I will discuss, which is variance, there would be two methods in getting the variance. Okay? So that would be average deviation using the group data. I'll be giving you some activities using now the quartile or the quartile deviation and then the average deviation. Okay, so thank you for listening. And if there would be any questions, you are free to ask during our Google Meet schedule. And the next topic would be on variance, both group and ungroup data. Okay, so thank you for listening and good day.